Zo, goedemorgen klas 1a. Nou, ik heb een goed licht bij vanavond, zie ik. Eens even kijken. We gaan vandaag starten met de instructies voor Engels. Jullie hebben hiervoor nodig bladzijde 60 in jullie tekstboek. We gaan listening doen en reading. Ik zet hem even hierheen. Listening gaat over de school trip en reading live at the Wild Dog Research Camp. We gaan starten met de luisteroefening. Lees de opdrachten in je boek even goed door voordat je eraan begint. Zet het filmpje anders even op pauze en daarna kun je de opdrachten erbij maken. Check je dagtaak even welke opdrachten je moet doen. Eens even kijken. De school trip. Hier komt hij als het goed is. Yes. Succes!
Theme 4, G, the school trip.
Good morning, everyone. It's good to see that you've all been able to get up on time for our school trip. As you all know, we're going tree climbing. We will travel to Wivenhoe. It's a small village in the countryside. There we will meet up with our tree climbing instructors. This area is hilly and there are a lot of beautiful large trees. Today is going to be a lot of fun and very adventurous. However, there will also be an educational side to our trip. The instructors will teach you about the importance of trees within our environment.
Oh no! I thought this school trip was going to be all fun and no work, but now we have to learn something as well. I'm sure they're going to test us on that as well. Don't you think so, Aaron?
We'll see, Jim. I wouldn't worry too much about it if I were you. Let's try to have a nice day.
Now, it will take us about 45 minutes to get there, and on the way I will tell you something about tree climbing. When I was young, I would always climb trees in my back garden. My brother and I would have competitions to see who could climb the highest. Most of the time, I was the winner, of course.
Will you show us today how you did that, sir? I'd love to see you climb the trees, and I'd love to challenge you to see who can climb the highest today.
Be careful who you challenge, Jim. My tree climbing days aren't over yet. Anyway, today will be a little bit different because we won't just be using our hands and feet to climb up the branches of the trees. We'll have some proper equipment like ropes and harnesses. Did you know that there are even tree climbing schools and tree climbing competitions?
So how are we going to get to the tops of the trees today, sir?
Be patient, Aaron. The instructors will explain everything to us and they will hand out all the things you need, like helmets. Ah, look, we're there. You can get off the coach now. Remember to be back at 4 o'clock, whatever happens.
Later that day.
Wow, Aaron, that was great. I've learned so much about how to use the ropes and how to throw them over the branches, and also which branches are strong enough to use to climb up. I'm going to ask my dad to come here again during the holidays.
Yeah, I know, it was cool. And even the things they told us about how to protect trees and how to know which trees are healthy and which aren't wasn't too boring. I climbed to the top of that huge oak tree and stood on its branches looking over the fields. It felt like being the king of the world. So what about you? Did you challenge Mr. Hobbs to see who could come up the highest?
I did, and I'm sorry to say that he won. We were in that huge tree on the other side of the field, and at one point I got sort of stuck and had to come down again, but Mr. Hobbs was still climbing to the top, so he won.
Well, good for him. Anyway, it's 4 o'clock now and Mr. Hobbs isn't here yet. He's always telling us to be on time, so that's strange. Where is he?
Let's go and find out. Right, so the instructors haven't seen him, and he's not in the shed with all the equipment. Why don't we have a look near that tree I was telling you about? It's the last place I saw him.
Help!
Listen,
Help!
do you hear that? I think that must be Mr. Hobbs. Hey, Mr. Hobbs, it's Jim here. Where are you?
Oh, Jim. I'm glad that you're here. Please get some help, will you? I climbed to the top of this tree, and I was so high up, and all of a sudden my knees felt wobbly and I didn't dare to move anymore. I can't come down on my own.
I guess that after today, his tree climbing days are over.
Oké, dat was het luisterfragment. Ik hoop dat je alle vragen hebt kunnen beantwoorden. En anders kun je altijd het filmpje nog heel eventjes terugspoelen. We gaan door naar de volgende oefening die bij deze les hoort. En dat is de leestekst. Je mag de leestekst gewoon zelf lezen, maar je mag ook meelezen op het scherm. Even kijken. Doe ik hem weer even naar de zijkant. Gaan we naar yes. De leeshulp. En als het goed is, komt-ie. Duurt eventjes. Bezig met laden. Yes. Oké, hier komt-ie. Live at Wild Dog Research Camp.
Theme 4, H. Life at Wild Dog Research Camp. What would it be like to live in a place where you and your brother are the only children? Where everyone lives in tents? Where there is a fire burning all the time to keep you warm and to cook your meals on? Where wild animals walk or run past day and night? Where the nearest village is a 20-minute ride away in your mum and dad's aeroplane? Would you like living there? For Madison and Wilder McNutt, this is reality. They live in the South African country of Botswana at Wild Dog Research Camp. Their father, who is from North America, studies wild dogs and other big predators. Their mother, who was born in Canada, works with local children. She teaches them how to protect nature. She feels we have to make sure the planet stays healthy so that everything that lives on it, such as different plants and animals, can continue to exist. The country that the boys live in, Botswana, is pretty flat, and it has got a large desert in the south. The most famous landmark of this country is Bain's Baobabs, also called the Seven Sisters. It's a group of gigantic trees. Just over 2 million people live in Botswana. That makes it one of the most sparsely populated countries in the world. One of the biggest problems in Botswana is the lack of water. The weather is dry, and that makes it hard to grow food. Botswana does have diamonds in the ground, and it has one of the fastest growing economies in the world. More than a dozen adults live at Wild Dog Research Camp. There are workers to help cook and keep the camp clean, and college students who have come to learn about wildlife. There are 15 tents in our camp, says Wilder. 10 are for researchers and 5 for camp staff. We have also got 2 offices, one above ground and one underground. It can get really hot during the day, and underground it is cool. We have a kitchen tent, a camp living room with a few stools and a bird bath, a garage tent, and a tent where we wash our clothes. There is also a small museum where we keep all the bones, skulls, and teeth of animals we find. The boys live in their own tent that is attached to their parents. It is several feet off the ground, like a treehouse. The camp toilet is a hole in the ground, and everyone showers and bathes outside. Sometimes at night, the boys see animals like hyenas that come to the bird bath in camp for a drink. The wildlife at night is very dangerous, says Wilder, so you have to be very careful. Last night, some hyenas killed an impala in camp. They made a lot of noise, and I was up for about 2 hours listening to it. Madison and Wilder have their own teacher at the camp. They attend class about 4 months out of the year. Madison's favorite part of the day is when school gets out. Then I can go do other stuff, like going out with some of the students to study cheetahs, wild dogs, lions, hyenas or leopards. Madison wants to train dogs for films when he grows up. He likes wild dogs the most. They are very social animals and are always nice to each other. Wilder's favorite animal is the leopard. They are very strong and they are beautiful. They were here first, and it would be sad if they disappeared because of how people treat nature.
Ja, even kijken. Yes. Ik word er een beetje beter in, maar nog niet helemaal. Ik was vergeten om door te scrollen, maar ik hoop dat het allemaal goed is gekomen. Heel veel succes met de opdrachten. En dit was hem weer. Joe.